Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakor Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops at Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect. All right. So you have Russia, who has now made it clear that they will be defending Venezuela as far as, the escalating tensions between the United States and Venezuela. Russia being an ally to Venezuela. All right. They've made it known that they will be, defending them and helping them, man. All right, and this is going to escalate into World War III. All right, as the scriptures say, the third woe cometh quickly. All right, and China as well. All right, both Russia and China having business interests in Venezuela as far as the oil that the U.S. is now, openly stealing from Venezuela. At first, it was a matter of illegal immigrants and drugs coming into the country. All right, but as I said in previous videos, everybody knows that was just the smoke screen that they used in the media. All right, and now they've made it very clear that they're over there for that oil. All right, but Russia issues fatal mistake warning to Trump administration over Venezuela. It says Russia's foreign ministry issued a new warning to Trump administration on Thursday amid escalating tensions between the United States and Venezuela. It says we note continuous and deliberate attempts to escalate tensions with our ally Venezuela. Unilateral decisions creating a threat to international shipping are particularly alarming, the ministry said in a statement per Russia's TASS news agency. All right, because the U.S. basically put up a blockade for all those oil tankers, but as I've stated previously, pardon me, Russia does business with Venezuela, man, as far as the oil. So if they have a blockade where none of the oil can get out, that's affecting the Russian economy. And Vladimir Putin, being the leader of, one of the nations that has nuclear capability, they are not afraid, to stand up to the U.S. All right. They're not, going to be subservient to, all the wickedness that the U.S. does as far as, international trade and the stealing or the theft of resources, man, from these countries that aren't as strong as Russia or China. All right. Hopefully, the Trump administration, known for pursuing a rational and practical policy course, will stop short of making a fatal mistake and refrain from escalating things down a path that may cause unpredictable consequences for the entire Western Hemisphere. So he's threatening the whole West, man. All right, and I always reference the summer of 224, where Putin was basically laying the groundwork or the foundation for this moment now. Basically, had his chin up and his chest out saying, we don't mess with the U.S., man. All their policies is wicked. Their international dealings is wicked. And we will not be affected, as I speak from the perspective of Russia, we will not be affected by their wicked dealings amongst the nations, man. It says President Donald Trump announced Tuesday that the U.S. had imposed a total and complete blockade of all sanctioned oil tankers entering and leaving Venezuela, saying that the country had taken what was rightfully the U.S.'s oil land and other assets. Russia has been a longtime ally of Venezuela as has Iran. And the country has the world's largest oil reserves, meaning Trump's actions in the regions will have a global impact, meaning he will affect the economies on the eastern part of the world, man. And Russia, being the tip of the spear, is not going to allow that, man. All right, things are going to escalate into a world war, man. All right, the second woe has passed. the third woe cometh quickly, as the scriptures say. Uh, it says Moscow's message comes after Trump said on Tuesday that the U.S. military buildup around Venezuela will continue to grow until it returns the oil land and other assets that they have previously stole from us. And this dude is a liar, okay? This is an Edomite. They wicked, man. Nobody steal no damn oil land from them. The U.S. has a history of stealing natural resources from other lands, specifically oil. That's why Iran is mentioned as well, which Iran is another ally of their ally of Venezuela, as well as China and Russia. All right, so America picking on these countries that they can bully is going to soon come to an end because those nations that got guns as big as theirs, as it pertains to nuclear capability, are now getting involved because they're not going to let America mess up their economy and their money just because they have this imperialistic type of energy towards the world. So we'll see what Nero 47 says about this comment by Vladimir Putin. It says concern has been growing in the U.S. and around the world that Trump is on the verge of declaring war with Venezuela after months of targeted deadly strikes on alleged drug smuggling vessels in the Caribbean Sea and Pacific Ocean led to a Venezuela oil tanker being seized by the U.S. All right. And once again, man, the drug smuggling was a damn smoke screen, man. This is the land of drugs. Drugs are welcome here, man. All right. Says on Wednesday, another lethal strike was carried out in international waters in the Eastern Pacific Ocean, according to the U.S. Southern Command, killing 4 alleged smugglers, and all 98 people have been killed by U.S. forces. U.S. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth has insisted the operations are lawful. He has framed them as lethal kinetic strikes intended to destroy narco boats and kill narco terrorists, while asserting that every trafficker killed was tied to a designated terrorist organization. And they can say anything, because how would you know? You don't know nobody that was on that boat. So they could tell you anything, man. It could be a terrorist. It could be a sea monster. Bigfoot on a boat. It could be anything, man. On that boat. Y'all don't know. But that goes in his, the power of deception that he has, man. He's blessed with the sword, of course. But, one of his tactics of war is deception. And his media is the tip of the spear for his deception. They can say anything because the American people don't do any research on anything. All right. Speaking about the blockade on Wednesday, Trump cited the lost U.S. investments in Venezuela when asked about his newest tactic in a pressure campaign against leader Nicolas Maduro, suggesting his administration's moves are at least somewhat motivated by disputes over oil investments, along with accusations of drug trafficking. Some sanctioned tankers are already diverting away from Venezuela. Russia's foreign ministry affirmed Thursday its solidarity with Venezuelans and the Maduro administration's efforts to protect the country's national interests and sovereignty. Iran has shared similar messages of solidarity as the U.S. has moved military resources closer to the South American nation. All right, Russia about to get involved, man. All right, it says President Donald Trump speaking about the blockade on Wednesday. He said, "We're not going to be letting anybody going through who shouldn't be going through. You remember they took all of our energy rights. They took all of our oil not that long ago, and we want it back. They took it. They illegally took it." Which is, more hypocrisy. Everything that you have, you've illegally took. As I speak on this place, man. All that imperialism is going to come back and bite you in your ass. Thus saith Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro speaking on Wednesday. It is simply a warmongering and colonialist pretense. And we have said so many times, and now everyone sees the truth. The truth has been revealed. The aim in Venezuela is a regime change to impose a puppet government that wouldn't last 47 hours, that would hand over the constitution, sovereignty, and all the wealth, turning Venezuela into a colony. It will simply never happen. All right. So, as I've said in previous videos, that's what they do whenever America sees a regime change in another country being the best for that country. That's because they have a puppet leader that's going to do what they say and give them the natural resources, man. All right. They put people in place to do their bidding. If you've ever, I haven't finished the book, but Confessions of a Economic Hitman, it was just a good read. Okay. He goes through that. All right. How they put people in place to do their bidding, or they'll start wars because they benefit from it, man. Senator Mark Kelly, an Arizona Democrat, wrote on X on Wednesday, Congress authorities, Congress authorities any authorizes any military action in Venezuela, not the president. I'll keep holding the administration accountable for their actions, which is not going to happen because Trump does what he wants, man. All right. Says while U.S. forces have been maneuvered into the waters around Venezuela and the blockade continues on Venezuelan oil tankers, Trump has yet to announce full-scale military action against the country. And as soon as he does so, that's when you're going to see Russia get active. China's going to get active. Because if America gets control of this oil that they claim that was stole from them, now they become the plug for China and Russia, who buys oil from Venezuela, man. All right. Your third woe cometh quickly. But I ain't gonna hold you. I hope that video was edifying. Shalom.